This is not going to be, one of those storms that hit and move out to sea. This is going to be, a Mike Tyson punch to the Carolina coast.
Bracing for the worst, emergency officials stress the severity of Hurricane Florence.
Plus, 1 year after Hurricane Irma, how dozens are still waiting for a fix to their damaged homes.
And the additional security coming to Manatee County schools. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story this hour, Hurricane Florence.
Right now, you're taking a live look from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's where we are seeing the surf ahead of the storm there. People there and across the East Coast now scrambling to make those last-minute preparations as the Category 3 storm takes aim at the Carolinas. ABC's Natalie Brunell is in Wilmington, North Carolina tonight with the strong warning from officials.
Last-minute preparations underway as Hurricane Florence makes a slow but powerful crawl toward the mid-Atlantic coast.
We have all our valuables loaded up and sandbags. We've boarded up the windows already.
There's a nervous energy as people pack up their cars and wonder what the aftermath will look like.
I mean, we really love it here. This is our dream home. And, I just don't know what we're going to come back to.
We are under a mandatory evacuation. Please leave now.
Officials warning the time to get out safely is running out. Staying means putting your life at risk.
Once that hurricane hits, it will be very difficult, if not impossible, for anybody to come rescue you.
FEMA gearing up for a storm they say will deliver a Mike Tyson punch to the coastline and beyond, with up to 40 inches of rain and a violent storm surge. These eerie photographs from space needed to be taken with a wide-angle lens to capture the sheer magnitude of Florence. President Trump issuing this urgent and chilling message via Twitter.
It's going to be hitting pretty soon. Be ready and God be with you.
Now, despite being downgraded to a Category 3, the storm surge is still the big concern. Near the coastline here, it's expected to reach up to 13 feet. Natalie Brunell, ABC News, Wilmington, North Carolina.
With the latest on Florence and what we can expect here at home, let's check in on our first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know a lot of folks have been hearing about Florence over and over again for the past week now, it seems, and we're going to continue, it looks like, for at least another week, because this is going to be sticking around for a long period of time, and it looks like it won't be really gone until maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Now, it's a major hurricane, still a major hurricane, and they can still do a lot of destruction, even with the winds dropping, and they have dropped throughout the day today. And it just shows you how intensity forecasting has a long way to go before it becomes a little bit better as far as the forecasts go, because at this time yesterday this was supposed to be a Category 4 storm, possibly even a 5, but now it's weakening to almost a 2. It's still a major hurricane, though. It's getting a little weaker, but one thing it is doing, and we talked about this yesterday, it's expanding its wind field. It's getting bigger and bigger in terms of how many people are going to be impacted by these strong winds, especially on Friday and Saturday. You can see from the visible satellite imagery, the eye is not nearly as distinct as it was yesterday, and in fact, but the wind field is expanding considerably as it heads off toward the northwest now. As far as the latest goes from the National Hurricane Center, the pressure's come up just a little bit. The wind gusts are up to 150, so it's still a very formidable hurricane, and the winds sustained at 120. Hurricane warnings remain in effect from just about the Virginia, North Carolina border down to the Santee River in South Carolina, and it looks like it's going to make landfall possibly as a major storm. It's going to get close, but this cone of uncertainty really tells you the story. It could be right here on Friday. It could be all the way inland into North Carolina on Friday. This is just to let you know where the center is going to be. It's not necessarily going to find that center path. Also, the effects not felt just in that cone. The effects felt outside the cone. This just tells you where that center is going to be. So even though the cone is there, there's going to be a lot of rainfall over much of the southeast. And we talked about the storm surge with that earlier story from the reporter there. I think rainfall will be the bigger story coming in through the next several days. Again, storm surge warnings are out for much of the Carolina coast. Well, more on this. And Isaac, coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Airport officials at Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport are monitoring Florence and any effects the storm may have on flights. They're advising travelers that if you have a flight heading up the East Coast over the next couple of days, to check with your airline for cancellations. Airlines will typically send an email or a text with changes to flight plans.
I'm glad that I'm going to get through Charlotte before the storm hits. Hopefully there won't be too many canceled flights for my return on Monday night.
Right now, SRQ has 3 flights going to Charlotte, 7 to Atlanta, and 1 to Washington, D.C. each day.
Now remember, if you still need to get a plan in place for this hurricane season, we're here for you. Just go to our website, mysuncoast.com, click under the weather tab, and you'll find a link to our 1-hour hurricane special called Surviving the Storm and a printable 2018 hurricane guide with lots of useful information.
In other news, the man deputies say robbed a Venice bank is now dead. After a months-long search, U.S. Marshals caught up to 57-year-old Edward J. Reynolds in Kentucky. During his apprehension, shots were fired and Reynolds was killed. He was accused of robbing the Venice BB&T Bank back in July. In addition to the bank in Venice, Reynolds is also suspected of robbing several other Southwest Florida banks.
An update now on a death investigation out of Manatee County. Detectives now naming Nelson Navarro as a person of interest in the death of Maria de Jesus. Detectives found de Jesus laying in the grass bleeding at the Center Court Apartments on September 3rd. De Jesus passed away from her injuries on Saturday. The sheriff's office says Navarro was the longtime boyfriend of de Jesus and was arrested on a warrant for grand theft auto. He remains in jail in Georgia. Navarro has been charged in connection with Maria's death.
It has been a little more than a year since Hurricane Irma ravaged through Florida, causing millions of dollars in damage. Many homes and businesses that were damaged around the Suncoast have since been repaired, but there is one small condo on Holmes Beach that is still undergoing those repairs. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo joins us live with the story tonight. Dwayne?
Well, Scott, the Cayman Cay Villas right behind me still needs extensive work. A year ago when the storm hit, the roof was torn off and the condos were flooded, destroying much of the interior. Since then, the Condo Association hired a company to take care of all the work. They were even working today, in fact. We spoke to one of the residents in the building next to this one who says the noise has been constant. Also, that the city of Holmes Beach is making it pretty difficult for owners to get through extensions and permits in a timely manner. And even worse, a rental manager from A Paradise Vacation Rentals in Holmes Beach says this will be the second year for owners to possibly lose out on thousands of dollars.
A lot of these properties, specifically Cayman Cay, have rental restrictions which only allow you to rent them on a monthly basis, and it's difficult to do that over the summertime. So once you get into January, February, March, April, that's your prime time, and if they don't get those rented out, they're going to lose a major income. Not only them, but you know, the local establishments, the taxes that the city gets, the taxes that the state gets, and you know, it's detrimental to all.
Now, I was able to speak with the mayor of Holmes Beach, who says this is a huge project. He didn't want to be on camera, by the way, but he says with inspections and permits, it's a long process. Reporting live in Holmes Beach, Dwayne Lindo, your Suncoast News.
All right, Dwayne, thank you. The number of guardians hired to protect students in Manatee County schools continues to grow. This Friday, 13 more guardians will get their certificate from the Manatee County School Board. Starting on Monday, there will be 31 guardians on duty and 2 lead guardians. 7 more guardians will start their training on September 17th. The county has been working to fill those 40 positions for months now. After the mass shooting in Parkland, Florida, lawmakers passed an act that requires every school in the state to have an armed security officer.
A coalition of sheriffs, tax collectors, clerks of court, and property appraisers gathering at the state capitol today supporting a proposed constitutional amendment on the November ballot. That proposal, known as Amendment 10, would require all local constitutional officers to be elected and would remove the ability of charter counties to modify those offices. The measure could affect some of the 20 Florida counties that have charter governments. Under the current Constitution, a charter county can change the constitutional offices from elected to appointed positions and then reassign the duties with voter approval.
Every 4 years, we get our report card. Every 4 years, we're put back before the people to say, did we do a good job or did we not? And that's answered on that ballot when they vote.
60% of voters must support the proposal for it to pass.
3 more proposed constitutional amendments are going before the Florida Supreme Court after a judge ruled last week that they should be blocked from the November ballot. Attorney General Pam Bondi argues those amendments are improperly bundled. The 3 amendments are numbers 7, 9, and 11. Amendment 7 deals with governing the state college system and death benefits for survivors of first responders and military members, while Amendment 9 would prohibit offshore oil and gas drilling and also ban vaping in the workplace. Amendment 11 would remove language that prohibits aliens ineligible for citizenship from owning property. It would also make clear the repeal of criminal statutes does not affect the prosecution of crimes committed before the repeal.
Another proposed amendment that will go before voters is Amendment 4. If it passes, 1.5 million people could have their voting rights restored. On Facebook, we asked our viewers if they supported restoring voting rights for felons who have completed jail time, parole, and probation. In our unofficial poll, 60% of our participants said voting rights should be restored, which is interesting because 60% of voters have to say yes for this and the other amendments to pass. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the latest health trend among baby boomers you probably wouldn't expect.
Plus, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus the latest on the tropics, and a look at the new attraction coming soon to Busch Gardens of Tampa Bay.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically. And I don't know what we would have done without that.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
The final 2018 Accord clearance is now during our model year-end clearance sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for new Accords, all on clearance this week at your local Honda dealer.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
This is a live look at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, as that area prepares for Hurricane Florence. Looks pretty calm right now, but we know that is going to change in the coming days. Right now, crews from Sarasota County are in Raleigh, North Carolina. This is a look at the Region 6 strike team leaving Fire Station number 8 yesterday. They are now at the Raleigh staging area, ready to help with whatever comes next as a result of Florence. Glad they got there safe.
Yeah.
And this graphic I'm going to show you is going to show you the power outage projection map of what's going to be happening through Friday. And get a look, there's going to be a lot of crews, I'm sure, from FPL going up there too to help out after the storm moves through. They can't stage there now because of the hurricane, obviously. But get a look at this. This is the projected power outage map. It starts Thursday. This is at midnight Friday, and it only gets worse. As you can see, that is severe power outages across most of southern portions of North Carolina, and high power outages extending all the way down into South Carolina. And with this storm expanding its wind field, I suspect that graphic will only get larger in terms of the severity as a result of Florence getting bigger. It's just going to get a wide storm. These storms each have their own name and their unique personalities, you might say. They all come in different shapes and sizes. Category 3 doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a small Category 3 in terms of its size. This is going to be a large Category 3 storm. It's had a lot of time to expand its wind field, and that's going to be the big factor. Power outages extreme throughout North Carolina and even into interior portions. We could see that happen all the way into the western portions of North Carolina Sunday. Here's a look at the forecast for it now. We said it's weakening. The next advisory comes out at 8. Could get up a little bit stronger tomorrow. Right now it's at 120 miles an hour. Could go as high as 125. There's still a slight opportunity for about 24 hours to get strong right here because the water temperatures are so warm that it's going to be going over. And then because it's going to be sitting around for a couple of days here, it's going to cause upwelling. That means the water gets cooler. It brings the cooler water up from the depths of the ocean there, and then it loses its punch. Still a Category 1 is nothing to sneeze at. We have a big storm there, even with 80-mile-an-hour winds that will be causing power outages into South Carolina as well, gusts up to 100 miles an hour. And then it makes its way through the Appalachians, we think. The forecast cone of uncertainty is really uncertain. That gives you a good idea as to the models are all over the place with this when they're kind of leaning more toward a southern fix right now. But it could be a little bit further north at this point. A weaker storm tends to go a little bit further off to the south in this case, or to the left of the cone of uncertainty. So no one can say with any certainty that it's going to hit directly in one city or another. Hurricane warnings are out, especially north, because that's where a lot of the hurricane force winds are, to the right of the center. And as the storm comes in this way, the heaviest part of the storm, or the dirty part we call it, will be to the right. And so up to Cape Hatteras, and looks like all the way up to the border near Virginia could see some very strong winds. Storm surge map is out now. This is the warned area, as you can see, covering most of North Carolina and into northeastern portions of South Carolina. The wind field expanding. This is, by the way, if you go from here to here, this is tropical storm force winds from the yellow, the outside of this ring here. That's over 300 miles. 300 miles. It's 150 on either side, basically. So 300 miles of coastline will experience at least tropical storm force winds. And then the inner core is the strong hurricane force winds. And even that is over 60 miles from one side to the other. So again, this is going to have far-reaching impacts across the state of North Carolina. Even if it is not going to be an extreme major hurricane, it could even be a Category 2 if indeed it makes landfall. Rainfall is also the biggest deal, I think, in terms of flooding potential. We're talking 20 to 30 inches of rainfall. This is the tropical surge, or surge map, a storm surge. And you see the scale here. The yellow indicates 15 to 17 foot storm surge. That's a new product from the National Weather Service, and it's lesser amounts down into South Carolina, but still in the range of 9 to 13 feet. But in these little inlets, you can see some of that yellow right there. That would indicate up to 15 to 17 foot storm surge. Well, elsewhere in the tropics, we're watching this system head off toward Texas and Mexico. It has a pretty good chance of developing, but will not impact our weather. This is Isaac. Isaac, by the way, interesting. It's racing out ahead of its actual storm. So it's moving to the west at 20, kind of void of any significant thunderstorms. And some of the models dissipate it into an open wave before it reaches the islands. The islands there under a tropical storm warning, while it could gain strength back into the Caribbean. We'll keep an eye on it. Notice there's a little bend off to the northwest there. Some of the models are starting to indicate a big spread. Some keep it going west, while others start to turn it through Cuba. Either way, it's going to be a weak storm because it would have to fight through the mountains of Cuba if it were to make it toward Florida. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Not a problem right now. East winds turn to the northwest at 5 to 10 knots. A light chop out there. Here's the extended forecast quickly. 40% chance for scattered storms tomorrow afternoon. Less of a chance as we head into the weekend. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. In first alert traffic, we're monitoring a crash in Bradenton. It's on 53rd Avenue and has blocked the eastbound lanes on 41 from 14th to 11th Streets. And then in Sarasota, all green on the interstate in both directions, all the way south into South Sarasota County. Not looking too bad tonight, Jacqueline.
Thanks, Scott. In health news tonight, the latest growing trend among baby boomers is one that you probably wouldn't expect. In today's Health Minute, Reed Binion explains how seniors are getting in on the cannabis craze.
Baby boomers are putting down the crochet needles and picking up the pipe, the marijuana pipe, that is. According to a national survey on drug use and health, about 9% of adults between 50 and 64 used marijuana at least once during the 12-month survey period. And for adults over 65, about 3%. The study, published in the Journal of Drug and Alcohol Dependence, surveyed nearly 18,000 adults across the country and found the number of cannabis users has doubled over nearly a decade. One of the authors says that while marijuana use is gaining popularity with older Americans, most aren't newbies when it comes to pot use or other substances. Nearly 5% of middle-aged marijuana users abused alcohol, and 3.5% misused opioids. Among older adults, 1.5% abused alcohol, and 1.2% misused opioids. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
New research is showing that what's good for our hearts may also be good for our brains as well. The study looked at more than 6,000 people aged 65 and older. Participants were assessed on 7 heart-healthy metrics, which include not smoking, maintaining a body mass index under 25, getting regular exercise, keeping blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar at recommended levels, and eating fish twice a week and vegetables 3 times a day. Even for those who were not able to reach all 7 of those metrics, for every one that they did meet, it lowered their dementia risk by 10%. That's compared to people who were not able to meet any metrics. Coming up, an incredible emergency landing. A teen pilot speaking out after new audio reveals her harrowing landing. Plus, an eagle makes a cameo at a 9/11 memorial.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
A terrifying ordeal in the sky. Tonight we're hearing from the 17-year-old student pilot who pulled off a miraculous landing on her first long-distance solo flight. One of her wheels came off in midair. She was flying from Massachusetts to Maine when air traffic control alerted her to the problem.
Can I circle back to land?
Affirmative. Are you a solo, ma'am?
I'm a student pilot solo, yeah.
We're going to get some people out to help you, okay?
Okay.
For a few seconds, I was pretty sure that I was just going to die.
Well, while she's been flying for the last 3 years, she still only has 60 flight hours under her belt. But she says by relying on her training and her instructor on the ground, she was able to land safely. Her parents standing by, and she was able to walk away without injury.
Isn't that unbelievable?
It really is an amazing moment captured during a 9/11 firefighter memorial in Minnesota. Crews were gathered to remember when an Eagle landed on top of a fire truck. Attendees paused to take in the moment before the Eagle eventually flew away.
Are you looking for a different way to get your steps in? The Gasparilla Island Lighthouse will be opening for climb tours to the top beginning on October 8th. Visitors can climb 108 feet of stairs to view Gasparilla Island from above, all while taking in the unique history of that area. Well, thrill seekers, listen up. A brand new triple launch coaster coming to Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. Opening in the spring, Tigress will catapult riders through looping twists with forward and backward motion drops and an inverted heartline roll at more than 60 miles per hour. A second new thrill ride will also be coming to a different area of the park in 2020. Ooh. Sometimes those roller coasters are a little too much for me.
I know. I have to watch it for a while.
And then see
the reaction of the people on it.
Very good point. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, another option for travelers at the Sarasota Bradenton International Airport.
Plus, a major expansion plan for a Manatee County athletic facility, the next step for the premier sports campus.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Attention, do you have Medicare? Do you want to make sure you have the most benefits and lowest possible out-of-pocket costs? You may be able to lower your out-of-pocket costs and get dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now to find out what you deserve.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Over 3 million people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline, but there are still many people who don't check to see if they're eligible for more benefits and lower out-of-pocket costs. It's so easy. One simple free call could save you money and get you more benefits. Be smart. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now.
Call now to see if you may be eligible to lower your copays and get extra benefits, including dental and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're able to save money and get more benefits now. Call 1-800-711-7200. Again, call 1-800-711-7200 now.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Datoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.